Hey guys, today you are starting a new section, a new chapter, chapter 3, and we're going to be working on writing equations today. So I'm on page 123. I know most of you don't have your books, so I'm just going to put all the information that you will need to know from the book on the screen. And I do want you to take notes and copy this down, so make sure you're doing that as you watch. So number 2 says that this girl, I do not know how to say her name, so we're just going to call her Michelle, has $1,900 in the bank. And she wishes to increase her account to a total of $3,500 by depositing $30 per week from her paycheck. Now, will she reach her savings goal in 1 year? And then it has all these questions, A, B, C, D. So I wrote the key points down for you. She started with $1,900. She wants to increase that to $3,500, and she's going to deposit $30 per week. So remember, deposit is where you put money into the bank. So she's going to put $30 a week in the bank. Try to get her total up to $3,500. So letter A says, how much money did Michelle have at the beginning? And that is right here. It told us that she started with $1,900. So that's all we need to put for that one. That's how much she started with. Now it asks, how much will she add to her account in 10 weeks? So how much is she adding per week? $30 times 10 weeks. And 30 times 10 is going to be 300. And remember, we're talking about dollars, so we're always going to put our dollar sign on there. So in 10 weeks, she's going to add $300. Okay, how about 20 weeks? How much will she add in 20 weeks? Let's do the same thing. We'll do 20. Well, I'll do 30 because that's how much she's adding, times 20 weeks. And 30 times 20 is $600 after 20 weeks. Okay? Now, letter C says, write an expression representing the amount added to the account after W weeks have passed. So W is just representing an unknown number. After like X amount of weeks, how much money will she add to her account? Well, all we're going to do is, just like I did in the last problem, we're going to do 30 times W. Okay? So 30 times however many weeks, that'll tell us how much she's gotten in there by that many weeks. And then the last question is, will she reach her goal after 1 year? So we need to see how much money she'll put in 1 year. That means, since this is how much money she's putting in per week, we need to know how many weeks are in a year. So there are 52 weeks in a year times $30 per week. So 52 times 30, 1,000. Oh man, hold on a second. Just shut my iPad off. 1,560. All right, sorry, I had a little technical difficulty there. So $1,560 is the answer of how much she will make after 52 weeks, but we're not done because now we need to know, will she reach her goal? So I have to add this amount that we just found to the amount that she started with, which is this one up here, the 1,900. So let's go ahead and add that. I'm going to change colors. I'm going to do 1,900 plus 1,560 and $3,460. So is that 3,500, which is her goal? Remember her goal right here? No, it's not. So she will not reach her goal after a year. It'll take her a little bit longer than a year, okay? All right, so copy all that down and then I'll be back with a couple more. For numbers 4 and 5, it says translate each sentence into an equation. So I have to read the sentence and then I have to turn it into an equation. So remember, an equation has an equal sign. And the word in the sentence that tells us where to put the equal sign is either going to be equals, obviously, or remember the word is means equals when you're doing math, okay? So you're going to look for is or equals, and that's where your equal sign is going to go. So let's start with the beginning. 2 times a number t, so 2 times t, you could write it with the dot or just write them next to each other like that, either one. Decreased by 8, so remember, decreased means minus, decreased by 8, equals 70, okay? And then after I write it down, I just go over the equation again and make sure it matches the sentence. So I have 2 times t minus 8 equals 70. 2 times the number t decreased by 8 equals 70. So both of those say the same thing, so I'm good. Number 5 says 5 times the sum of m and n. Now when it says sum of m and n like that, that means I'm going to have to put some parentheses around those, okay? So I'm going to do 5 times sum means what? Remember what sum means? It means add. So the sum of m and n is, which is our equal sign, the same as 7 times n. Or you could just write it 7n. Okay, so now I'm going to read it again and make sure it matches. So I have 5 times m plus n equals 7 times n. And the sentence says 5 times the sum of m and n is the same as 7 times n. So that says the same thing. I'm good. All right, so the next one says to translate each sentence into a formula. So we're basically doing the same thing, but now we're going to be writing a formula. So it says the area A of a triangle equals 1/2 times the base times the height. And then it gave me all these letters to use in my formula. Okay, and I'm also going to highlight 1/2 because that's important. I don't want to forget that part, okay? So A equals 1/2 of the base times the height. The area of a triangle equals 1/2 times the base times the height. So 1/2 times base times height. That's what I have. So I am good to go. All right, copy those down, and then I have one more of these, I think, and then we'll do some Excel. Okay, again, we're writing a formula for this sentence. So I'm going to highlight the important parts that I need to not leave out, the things I need to remember. The circumference C of a circle equals the product of 2 pi and the radius. And then I'm going to underline product because that's an important word. Product tells us to multiply. So here we go. So the circumference C equals the product of 2 and pi. So 2 pi and the radius. So that's the product of all three of those things. Product means multiply, so just write them next to each other. 2 pi and r. So C equals the product of 2 pi and r. And that's it. All right, so for this last part, it says translate each equation into a verbal phrase. So I'm just going to write this as words. So I'm going to say 14 plus d, or I could say a number d, is 6 times d. All right, just writing it as a sentence. And so for number 9, I could say 1/3 a number b decreased by 3/4 is 2 times a number a. Okay, that's it. All right, since this video is getting a little long, I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to make a separate video to show you the IXL for today. So make sure you copy all these notes down, and I will see you next time. Bye.